Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday. I'm your host, Raymond, and you're listening to New Wave Real Talk. Got my co-host in the studio with me, Eric. How you feeling, man? You ready to get into this show?
Yeah, man.
It's going to be a very interesting show, y'all. So y'all, you know, it's going to be crazy. So y'all just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Don't leave early. Stay with us. It's going to be fun. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First topic of today is going to be saying farewell to a living legend, a man who just touched every aspect of my life and a lot of other black people's lives, white people, Asian people, everybody, you know?
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Congressman John Lewis, who we all know, you know, he passed away, he transitioned, went back to God, went back and finally was able to rest from all of that work.
A colorful life, man. Very, very colorful life.
Right. So I want to play this clip for y'all, and we'll be right back to talk about it.
Let us not forget that we are involved in a serious social revolution where is a political party that will make it unnecessary to march on Washington. Where is a political party that will make it unnecessary to march in the streets of Birmingham. Those who have said be patient and wait, we must say that we cannot be patient. We do not get meaningful legislation out of this Congress. We will march through the South, through the streets of Jackson, through the streets of Danville, through the streets of Cambridge, through the streets of Birmingham.
It has to get better.
But we will march with the spirit of love and with the spirit of dignity that we have shown here today. We must say, wake up, America, wake up, but we cannot stop, and we will not and cannot be patient.
In 1963, we could not register to vote simply because of the color of our skin. We had to pay a poll tax, pass a so-called literacy test. 50 years later, we can ride anywhere we want to ride. We can stay where we want to stay. Those signs that said white and colored are gone. And you won't see them anymore. But there's still invisible signs, barriers in the hearts of humankind that form a gulf between us. Too many of us still believe our differences define us instead of the divine spark that runs through all of human creation. The scars and stains of racism still remain deeply embedded in American society. The mass incarceration of millions of American immigrants hiding in fear in the shadow of our society, unemployment, homelessness, poverty, hunger, or the renewed struggle for voting rights. So I said to each one of us today, we must never ever give up. We must never ever give in. We must keep the faith and keep our eyes on the prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the living legend.
The living legend, Congressman John Lewis.
Absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, what Congressman Lewis meant to us personally. You know, so Eric, you want to tell me a little bit about what he meant to you?
Okay. So with John Lewis, well, Congressman John Lewis, I feel like with him, like he was one of those people I felt like was accessible. Cause I know, you know, remember we went to the DC trip, you know, and we met him, and you know, with him, and the only other person I can say this for is Shirley Franklin. Nothing against any other politician. Those two in particular is like, you know, I got to interact with them and feel like these were just people. They weren't, you know, hungry for money or power. They were here to affect change in our lives as the children coming up, you know, and have a very warm, embracing presence.
Right.
With John Lewis specifically, I admire anybody who was like in that civil rights activist time frame era, because it's like they had a certain type of grit, a certain type of like, you know, will to create that change in the environment, and they were unapologetic about it. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, him being I didn't know he was the youngest. He was like 23 or whatever when they had the March on Washington.
But actually, I think he was 20.
20. So
Yeah.
somewhere in those young,
somewhere
like, very
within,
young adult.
yeah.
And it's like, when I look at like what were we doing at the age of 20, 21, 22, you know what I mean?
Right.
And what are a lot of people doing now, even in their 30s?
Right.
And these people up here putting their lives on the line for what they believed in, you know what I mean?
Right.
And knowing that
Greater.
And he had a point in an interview on The View.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke on just like, well, one of the key things he mentioned was being prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that they learned, like when he was with Dr. King, was just being prepared. And that's something that goes into what we've spoken on before when we talk about like the protests that we've had in recent times,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just knowing how to say, okay, yeah, we want to protest. Yeah, we're going to, riot, whatever the case is, but what's the plan outside of that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Being prepared in other ways. Because, see, like, I look at John Lewis and I see, like, somebody who was a strategist because he took it from just somebody who was talking about things that they want to see
Mm-hmm.
to saying, okay, now let me take it a step further and hop into the political arena.
Right.
And this man got arrested like 3 or 4 times when he was in Congress. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never stopped believing in that message and never stopped fighting for it. He was never like, okay, now that I'm here, I'm going to say whatever is going to keep me around. It's like, no, he still addressed the issues that were still present now, even though most people have to wait until they get permission to speak on the racial stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like we lost somebody who really, you know what I'm saying, never stopped caring about the people, but it's still up to us to not let his life go in vain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not let his legacy go in vain.
Yeah, we still have to keep up the fight.
Yeah.
So for me, growing up in Atlanta, it was so special. I think it was kind of a rite of passage when you grew up and you went to social studies and you learned about the civil rights era. In February, obviously, that's Black History Month. So being a young black person in Atlanta, you had to know who he was.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that it was just kind of like a rite of passage, like I say. I mean, you just learn it. I mean, he was our congressman.
Yeah.
So it was, a part of the knowledge that we needed to know, just because you should know who your representatives are, your senators, your congresspersons, so being a product of the Atlanta public school systems, and like you said, having the opportunity to meet him and actually see him as a regular person, but yet somebody that was so humble but yet so profound,
man.
I mean, he, as you said, at 20 years old, between 20 to 23 years old, I mean, he had laid his life down so many times for the pursuit that you and I could sit here at this table without being in bondage and having this platform for people to watch us and to commentate on whatever it is we want to commentate on. Even white people, when we don't agree with what they do. So, so for me, he bled for the people. He was willing to die for the people. And, being a black boy in Atlanta, you just had to know who he was, and he was revered.
And, and it's like one of those. There wasn't like a okay, but like even with Dr. King, people say okay, but he was cheating on Coretta Scott King or something like that. It's like you just have that story. Like I'm sitting like people, I'm telling you, man. Like anything people can say to like undermine someone's legacy. You know what I mean? Just like okay, Kobe Bryant, okay, rape, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's just Congressman John Lewis. You know what I mean? His legacy, and that's just it. Period. We don't care about anything in his personal life. What he stood for, you know what I'm saying, meant something for all of us.
It trumped everything.
And he didn't care about speaking his mind. Like, I mean, he had his frustrations about Trump being in office. He talked about how he didn't think that Dr. King would, introduce himself during the inauguration, whatever, just like how he didn't. It's it wasn't a matter of being, PC. It's like, bro, like I'm a politician, but I'm not politically correct with everything. Like just because you want me to be politically correct, like I'm gonna say what I feel. And you can't do nothing but respect somebody like that, man. Like
so let me, for the people who are watching that may not know, the actual politician aspect of who he was. So he was first elected to Congress in 1986. He served 17 terms in the United States House of Representatives. He served the 5th Congressional District of Georgia. It encompassed Atlanta, East Point, College Park, Hapeville, Forest Park, Conley, Lake City, and Morrow. It also encompasses a little bit of Brookhaven and Decatur. So he served about 5.6 million people. That's who that's how many people he actually served every day he went to work in the House of Representatives to enact policy and affect change and make sure that we were good.
And in actuality, he served probably a good 100 million or so. Cause what?
Oh yeah,
what's just saying like, I mean, the literal every day is millions, but then in the grander scheme, I mean, he served countless
I mean, talking about for sure, like from his time in the civil rights movement, and I mean, he served countless of people, and he did it in a way that was who he was. Like it wasn't forced. You know what I mean? It wasn't like going to work.
Yeah.
He stood for those policies and he meant everything that he fought for.
Yeah. And it's like it wasn't like something like how we look at, let's say, Hillary Clinton or whoever else, or Biden, Trump, whoever, where it's like, okay, 4 years ago we heard one thing, or 8 years ago we heard one thing. Today they stand on something else and looking goofy as hell with hot sauce in their pocketbook or something like that, trying to, you know what I'm saying, act like they were part for us.
Right.
And I think that one thing that he really embodied to me was just the whole time leadership and service. It's like when you in those positions of leadership, you're more of a servant to the people. It's not about us serving you. It's about what can you do for us. You know what I'm saying? And he always represented that. You know what I'm saying? His entire life was about his service to his people.
Right.
So I mean,
100%. 100%.
It speaks volume, man. He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did what he was supposed to do.
One of the things I want to ask you is, what do you think as young African Americans, whether male or female, can we do to continue the legacy and the work of Congressman John Lewis? Making good trouble.
So making good trouble. So I think that I would take what his contributions were on the political side. So being political, and put and add that to like the pie of like the economic aspect. So people like Dr. Claude Anderson, who I tend to follow a lot now, and I wish I'd known about him 10 years ago. Looking at anybody in every aspect of what will actually progress our community, you know what I'm saying, and continue with that. So it's like, okay, we need to continue to have people that we're building up to have, you know, a good sound set of morals and ethics, and have that black agenda in mind, not in the sense of like black superiority, but black, like flat out, let's even the playing field for everybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give us what we're due, and then continue to look at, you know, doing things that are in our interest. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we build people for that. We build up our business leaders. We build up our medical professionals. We build up, you know, community leaders in whatever aspect.
Right.
And so I think that that's how we, you know, pretty much give our thanks to him and his family. You know what I'm saying, for what he did over the generations. It's just continuing with that holistically.
You know what's interesting to me is that so many, like, I don't know if people really looked at Congressman Lewis as in the person that like they should. Like, this man literally like walked beside Dr. King. Like, he was like literally
like lockstep.
Yeah. So I mean, imagine, and I think for a moment it for me, it puts me in a perspective of, did some of us as young black Americans take for granted John Lewis, Congressman Lewis? I think we all have some type of accountability in that, because I think that some people did, a lot of young folks sought him out, and he was mentors to so many young people, whether black, white, Asian, whatever. And so I think I agree with you that we have to do those things, and that we have to continue to try and continue to fight. Because it is you know, I have not read, and I should have read this before doing this podcast, the article in the New York Times, his final words that he literally orchestrated and planned out. And so for all of you guys who are watching this, definitely go and seek out that article. I definitely will be doing that, so we can get some insight into the life and legacy in the last moments of Congressman Lewis.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Farewell to you, man.
Farewell.
Rest in power, sir. Rest in power.
Much love. Well, you know, we also had Mr. Herman Cain pass away yesterday, I believe it was.
Right.
Not as much mourning and grief going on among the black community.
Hey, let's talk about that.
And okay, so I don't know if you feel the same way, but I feel like a lot of us kind of dismissed him as like a coon or whatever else, you know what I mean? Because of his like his support for Trump or just like some of his political stances. And I'm not super heavy into politics, but it's like I understood what people felt, and they just kind of disregarded him or whatever. They felt they would compare him a lot of times to Samuel Jackson's role in Django with when he was it Mr. Candy, whatever Leonardo DiCaprio's role was.
I didn't watch that movie.
You know what?
I did not watch that movie. At least if I did, I
Oh,
don't
my
remember.
God.
I don't remember it.
Oh, and you know what? Oh, so like, and I hate to jump back to a previous topic, but I want to go back to a point that you made about about Congressman John Lewis, right? And you said something about us taking him for granted,
Right.
and I think that a lot of us did. That thought came out, and we come back to Herman Cain, whatever.
Okay.
But
Let me change that topic back. Now we're back on.
so let's go back to
Congressman John Lewis.
one last thing with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree with you that I think a lot of us did take him for granted because when we met him in D.C. and a lot of us shook hands and stuff. Some people got pictures. I didn't realize the amount of history I was touching when I was shaking that hand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It didn't quite come to realization for me until years later.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think a lot of times we do tend to not appreciate the things that came free when the things that are free are actually the most priceless thing. Like they are the things that we could never get back. We will never get John Lewis back. We will never get another John Lewis. We're just gonna get whoever else comes.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, all we can do is live in that, continue with that memory and just learn to value the things that are literally the most invaluable. Because shit, we can get another place filler. You know what I'm saying? We can get another whatever else, but that person is gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, all right. Sure. So now back to,
but no, you're right. Yeah. And it's one of those things that just it dawns on you
yeah,
after
man,
the
like
fact.
it just hit me afterwards, like, yeah, but
yeah.
But back to Herman Cain, right? So I felt the irony in this, right? Is, and I don't know if you saw this, but he was it's speculated that he caught coronavirus because he died from coronavirus. He died from COVID. It was speculated that he may have caught it during the Trump rally in Tulsa that we spoke of.
Yep.
And I think that it's crazy that, or it's irony, right?
You're right.
That a lot of people are like so eager to just dismiss the impact that coronavirus has on people for the sake of economy. And it's like, okay, like, it's fine if you don't want to wear a mask. Like I told you, I don't wear a mask all the time, right? But if I'm in a place where it's going to be densely populated, or if somebody says we want you to wear a mask, I have no problem wearing a mask,
right?
Because it's not about what I want. It's about because I don't want to catch the shit either. Don't get me wrong,
right?
But there are other people that can still be affected, and it's like, why would y'all? You talking about like people that were in the Secret Service or whatever, and other officials that were at that event that actually ended up catching it, and it's like, okay, somebody who was a recent cancer whatever survivor. That's the word. Why did that flee me? But a recent cancer survivor. You know what I'm saying? You would think that he'd be like, okay, well, I am up in age. What was he? 74? 70?
I'll get with you.
70 something. He was 70.
Let me fact check it.
But to think that, okay, you're already up in age, and you're a recent cancer survivor, and now you at this Trump rally. And you're thinking, okay, yeah, fuck it, I'm not gonna wear no mask. It's like, bro, like you're literally like the prime suspect that they're talking about. You're like the prime person that's in jeopardy.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, is that gonna shake up something?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then we look at like the people talking about his legacy or whatever, and not taking away from who he was as a businessman and what he represented in that regard. But when I looked at I don't know if you saw this, and when Trump was talking about it, he's a dear friend of mine, very good.
You're talking about his tweet from the passing of him?
No, well, he actually had a speech too. He actually had.
Oh, he spoke about him. Okay.
It was like a minute or so.
Okay.
He gave his remarks, and he was saying how it was, the Chinese virus that. I'm like, why is this man still doing it? Like,
yeah, he's never gonna stop that.
You cannot continue to label this as the Chinese virus, bro. This is like, okay, when AIDS came out, people calling it the gay virus. Like, you cannot do that. You cannot do that, bro. Like, that's not okay.
Right.
But
I think.
What are your thoughts on? Yeah.
I think with Herman Cain, here's what I'll say. My condolences to his family, from all of us here at New Wave Real Talk. I think that his life was the whole COVID thing is an example of people not taking it serious.
Right.
But moreover, his life was lived to be just like he was a guy that you should look up to.
Yeah.
I did not agree with him politically.
Yeah.
There was some viewpoints that I did not. Yeah, again, I didn't agree with. But his legacy and his life coming up from nothing, from a father who was a chauffeur of a CEO, and he became a CEO.
Yeah.
Multiple businesses. Became a presidential candidate, a serious candidate, by the way.
Candidate at that, yeah.
A person that just viewed things slightly different from me, but I think that, you know, he loved the United States, and he was a person that should still be revered for the accomplishments that he made.
Yeah. Because,
You know?
I mean, he still was one of us at the end of the day. And it's
Absolutely.
like, I can disagree with your views, but still appreciate your contributions.
Right.
Because he still had, like, if you remove the personal shit, because, I mean, social media has definitely opened that up for us, where we see that we can agree or disagree with a lot of things that celebrities do. And with politicians, everything about them is put out for us to, you know what I'm saying, criticize, whatever. But we disagree. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but that doesn't mean I have to hate the man because he has a different point. Because I didn't like his perspective on, like, the skepticism of hiring a Muslim in his in his administration or whatever because of potential radicalism or whatever. But it's like, you know, you can't. We should be more mindful of that kind of stuff because there's a lot of good Muslims. Just like how we have to constantly acknowledge that there's good white people.
Right.
It's like there's good Muslims. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
But
yeah, absolutely right.
I mean, but he's still an inspiration.
Yeah,
for
he
what
is.
did.
He is. I mean, he was literally. I mean, he went to Morehouse College.
Went to Morehouse.
He graduated with a bachelor's in mathematics. A black man majoring in mathematics.
Yeah.
Okay. The same people in almost every public school system, when it comes to mathematics and black people, oh, you know, black people aren't good at math, right? That's the condemnation that they want you to believe.
When really we be killing that shit.
Exactly.
I'm like, calculus was easy as hell for me, bro. Like, I just got tired of doing problems that took up a whole page. But okay.
You know, so for me, the former CEO and presidential candidate, I mean, I look at him and his accomplishments and say that he was a man of integrity and you know, and he was a man of good work ethic, and he believed in the pursuit of happiness, and he tried to get that for himself and his family at every means. And I looked up to him. I just didn't agree with him politically.
Right.
But I mean, I would never dare say anything bad about him.
Yeah.
In by way of diminishing or taking away from everything that he did.
And I think that's why, like, a lot of people don't look. It's like people are so attached to, okay, he's Republican or he supports Trump or whatever else, and they're not acknowledging everything else that he did.
Right.
Because if you remove that,
right,
then he'd be, you know, another person in Black History Month that we talk about.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because
he should be.
I mean, he was the second kind of sort of real, maybe the third real candidate, African American, for president of the United States.
Yeah.
He didn't win, but he was a viable candidate.
Yeah.
And he got a liking. He was taken a liking to by the current president, Donald Trump. And for whatever that's worth, we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, so rest in peace, Mr. Herman Cain, and my well wishes to the entire Cain family. And, you know, but this should be his death should not be in vain. This should go to show people that you cannot take this virus as a joke.
You cannot. I mean,
you know,
because we haven't had any, like, politicians, from my most recent research at least, that have actually died from COVID.
Right. At least not on this scale.
At least not on this scale yet. But, like, for somebody who was pretty much there and had a big enough name, and it's like, okay, now, hey, are y'all gonna take this a little bit more seriously?
Right.
It's nothing wrong with acknowledging that this disease is real. And just taking the precautions when necessary. That's not saying you gotta do it all the time. Just when necessary.
Right. Yeah. I mean, exactly. When necessary, all the time. All right.
Yeah. Well, let's move forward. You know, like we said, rest in peace to Mr. Cain, and, you know, condolences to the family.
Right.
Thank you for your contributions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to catch a quick break. We'll be right back. Y'all don't go anywhere.
Hey, you're watching New Wave Real Talk. We'll be back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We are back with the second aspect of the show. So we're gonna talk a little bit about Tamar Braxton right now. We're gonna, as you know, I brought you guys a one of my last shows. I don't remember which show it was, but I talked about Tamar Braxton and her being hospitalized based on the suspicion of her allegedly attempting to commit suicide. She did not say that in her response that she attempted to commit suicide. So I'm not gonna say that's what it was any longer. I'm just gonna go through her statement. So a couple things that stood out to me on Tamar Braxton's statement. Let me start off by saying that she's well, she's surrounded by family, and I think that she is now ready to move forward with making the corrections that she needs to make in her life. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna tell y'all a couple. So first of all, if you want to get this full statement, you can go to Tamar Braxton's Facebook page, IG, Twitter. She's published it for everybody to see. But obviously, she says thank you for all of the prayers and the well wishes that people have shown. Now I'm going to get into what stood out to me, and then I'll give Eric the opportunity to do the same thing. So 11 years, she says 11 years, there were promises, over the past 11 years, there were promises made to protect and portray my story with the authenticity and honesty I gave. I was betrayed, taken advantage of, overworked, and underpaid. She then says that she sent a letter over 2 months ago asking to be freed from what she believed to be excessive and unfair. And then she says that she was, that letter was pretty much ignored. A cry for help was totally ignored. Then she said she felt like she was no longer living. She was existing for the purpose of corporations' gains and ratings, and that killed me. So, to me, like seeing that on paper, and looking, because there's so many people that may be watching this video or that may be on social media that literally their whole scheme is to be a celebrity or to get into show business.
Yeah.
And before you do that, you should definitely, I'm not going to say read her statement, but you should be clear on what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Because I don't think necessarily over the past 11 years, she would have thought that she would get to this point,
right?
Of get into that low of a point that she says that she felt like she was no longer living. Yeah, she was existing.
That's
for the purpose of somebody else.
Just a shell of a person. Yeah.
So what's your thoughts on the letter?
So actually, so one thing to actually go kind of when you were saying that she didn't say that she actually made an attempt on life. So at one point in the letter, it does say that it was only God's grace and His mercy on my attempt to end my pain and my life that I'm here to utilize my voice. So I guess we can say that she did attempt to take her own life.
Yep.
And so one thing I definitely want to highlight is I think that I guess tying it back to like the COVID thing, right, and tying it to mental health. I think one thing that this does, or that these times are doing, is it's forcing people to deal with themselves in ways that they normally haven't. Because I think it's a little bit easier to go through those motions when you're still able to go out into the world as you normally would. You know what I'm saying? But now that we're more restricted on how we can, just live our lives, it's like we only really have ourselves and those around us. You know what I'm saying? Somehow where like divorce rates can, or separations are happening at a high level now, or people just having whatever internal domestic issues now because they have to deal with each other. You
got to face it.
And I think it is really for her. I think there is a silver lining in this, right? Because it gave her a chance to really just like come out completely with herself. You know what I'm saying? Just deal with herself head on, and then just see, okay, how has this affected me as an adult, as a younger adult, as a middle-aged adult, whatever she classifies herself as now, and or whatever she classifies herself as now. And just move forward with her life on it. Because one thing about it, like I understand her pain with it. However, the ratings are always going to be worth the suffering to the producers. That's just how I see it. Like, like it doesn't matter what you. Yeah, it's like they feel like it's all going to be worth it. And like because even when I watch different shows now, whether I'm watching like something on Netflix that's like I like watching those like dating type shows or those different like random shows that'd be on like Netflix or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I notice how production is always working to just build stuff up, and they're always working to build neat like specific types of characters. They always try to build archetypes within a series or whatever. And she just seemed like they were gonna find a way to make her who she wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Or at least maybe even if that's who she is maybe a fraction of who she is. Well, she could be so many other things outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't watch the show, but even when I would catch little snippets of it, I'm like, okay, she does seem bratty. She does seem whatever, you know, spoiled, whatever. But I'm like, but at the end of the day, I'm only seeing what they're showing me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And for her to say that, you know, they took something that was very private and intimate to her, and that she was, you know, traumatized by, and used that for the sake of some freaking views, you know, some ratings. Is like, I mean, that tells you how much they respect her and her family. And then something I came across was where there was supposedly a letter she wrote to WeTV as well, or at least, you know, in addressing some issues that she had.
Right. I think she said that letter from 2 months ago.
Yeah, and so like from what for what I was listening to on what the channel I listened to it from was No Ego TV on YouTube. And they was when they were speaking on it, and these were three sisters. They very, very, you know, well spoken. And some of the things they mentioned were how they had some of the highest ratings, but they were getting paid like 1/16 of what white counterparts were making. You know what I'm saying? But they had higher ratings. And what really hurt me a lot made me just really feel for her. Was when she in this letter that you gave me was how she was saying how, you know, everything that she had been working to become, you know what I'm saying? It just all went away when they revealed that part of her, that being assaulted and raped, like, and using somebody's suffering as something to get people to view, you know, to watch the show,
right, for a storyline.
But if I had to like give her a message though, and I did think on this, I'm like, you know, one thing about it. And this actually kind of feeds into the next topic that we have is just knowledge of self and knowing who you are and realizing that at the end of the day, like, you were there. You know what I'm saying? You know what you said. You know what was done. And yeah, you're in a different type of spotlight now. But at the end of the day, it's like, as hard as it can be at times, because I still struggle with it now, or at least I'm still learning to be better at it. Now, I won't say I'm struggling with it, but it's like, you don't have to validate yourself with anybody. Fuck what everybody else thinks. Like, if you know who you are and you know what you do and you know what you've done to this point, don't ever let somebody else take that shit away from you because they want to capitalize on who you were or just certain one aspect of you. Because it's like, I know I've had times where I've, you know, been way left field with my character. You know what I'm saying? But I've done so much good for other people. I've done so much good for myself that I can't let a moment take that away from me. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that she realizes like that she is bigger than that and she has a huge support base. You know what I'm saying? Right.
I think that this point in her life, I think that reckoning is happening. Yeah. You know what I mean? And her being able to express, I mean, because you don't see celebrities do this. Right. You don't see this. This is I see this as from the heart. This isn't a publicity statement. This isn't, you know, somebody that's speaking on her behalf because she's not ready to accept and confront it. I feel like she confronted it. She confirmed where she was. And I think that she has, you know, the mindset now to be able to figure out how she move forward. Yeah. So,
because even as an adult, man, like we said before, man, like what Dave Chappelle said, that fame will take you places that your character can't keep you. Right. And it's like, man, I mean, but there are struggles all the way through with that. You know what I mean? And we got to learn how to just be us first and be human first before we tap into these different areas. Because it's gonna tap into it's gonna find that crack in the bucket. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. If you're not strong, you will know. You will know. We got some comments here. Let's go to the comments, and I should have got that before. Miss J says that's so sad. So I'm assuming this comment came in at 8:33. We was talking about Tamar. I definitely think it was a suicide attempt, especially since she is now in rehab. Okay, and that was confirmed. I think she mentioned something about seeing the commercial for her new show coming out, and she didn't like what she saw or what the commercial made her look since how it made her look since she's always painted as a bad guy. Kind of reminds me of Nick Cannon and what he is going through. Yeah. I mean, I think that, man, painting people a certain way. We're only human. They're only human at the end of the day.
They are human. And I think, and this is a point I was definitely going to make in the next part of the next segment, was just like, these people have to keep in mind too, like once they step into that realm of being famous, like it's like you're a person, but you belong to the world now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
there's no sense of privacy. There's no sense
privacy at
of
that point. You live in a fishbowl. You know what I'm saying? And people will speculate on things that have nothing to do with them in a manner that's like complete disregarding your humanity. You know what I'm saying? Like when people say things like, okay, like how my baby mama, I'm just playing, my daughter's mom was saying how she's being seen as a bad guy. And there were people making comments like, I didn't like her anyway. Or you'll have where, when somebody goes something traumatic, they just speak on this person as if they're not a person. It's like, bruh, your personal feelings based on who the character is.
Right.
Should not overrule, or they should not surmount, just your perspective of like, okay.
Or at least your empathy for other humans.
Bro, like this is a person.
Yeah.
Why do I wish death on somebody? Why do I say that your life means nothing to me?
Right.
Because it's like, bro, at some point, your ass was listening to that Love and War song. You know what I'm saying? There's something that Tamar did.
Yeah, I mean, I that's why I wanted to talk about it on this show, on the podcast. Because I am a Tamar Braxton fan. I think that she is like great. Like if she gets an opportunity to be portrayed equally to show all of the dynamics of who she is, I think people can't help but to like her.
Yeah.
But I think the people that are smarter should be able to see through the fact that it's TV.
Yeah. And I hope that Tamar and her family also just see past the fact that you just got some dumb motherfuckers out here.
Right.
Like you got some people that just live for entertainment, and entertainment becomes like what encompasses their entire perspective and their entire outlook on life. So the people that are making the most noise are oftentimes people that just have very little to actually contribute to anything. You know what I'm saying?
True.
They're just responding to what's going on. They're, like I said, they're attached to a character. But
absolutely,
if they saw her, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Tamar Braxton." Some of them would be that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, it's like they feel like, and I've encountered this because like I used to work at the airport, or I used to work for the airlines, and they'll say that like, "Oh, I ain't finna be no groupie," or "I ain't gonna they there, but I mean I don't really fuck with them like that. I don't care." Da, da, da. Like you don't have to prove a point to me. Like if you see the person, like you could admire that they there and move on with your life. But them being a celebrity should not have that much of an impact on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What they got going on shouldn't have that much of an impact on you. What Kanye West is saying shouldn't have that much agency over your life. You know what I'm saying?
You shouldn't be, eating and drinking and what they're feeding.
It's entertainment, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Speedy recovery, sis. We love you.
Absolutely.
So
let me get you queued up.
Yeah, let's get that ready. So next thing we're gonna talk about is Meg Thee Stallion. So we mentioned that on the last podcast that I was on, at least. Talking about her getting shot, and we laughed about it a little bit, but we still wish her well.
Right. Absolutely.
We would probably laugh more at Tory Lanez than him.
Right. I think we was laughing at more so the situation, how that podcaster was, kind of framing the narrative,
Yeah.
And Megan sets the story straight.
So we're gonna play this video of her addressing the situation.
Okay.
And kind of throw our little tidbits and our little reactions in there.
Right.
Our thought.
Here we go. Let's see. Yeah. So first of all, let's and guys, ladies and gentlemen who are watching the podcast, either on replay or live, we're gonna be stopping this and we're gonna be talking about it. So when I feel like something I want to say, I'm gonna stop it. Eric, same thing for you. Tell me to stop it.
Yeah.
Guys, observe how nervous she is.
Yeah,
like
she's shaking up. Yeah.
Like she is like straight, just like
vulnerable. Like you said, vulnerable.
Like she is.
She
is 100% vulnerable, and I think that we're really seeing I guess a very authentic person and who she probably is behind the scenes. So let's keep going. All right, so we was talking about in the previous segment Tamar Braxton, and about how you said that she should get to a point to where she understands that people are not going to, or not be concerned about what people say or what people think, and just live your life. We got another celebrity right here, Megan Thee Stallion, who just said that her fans were the people that pulled her through this situation. And so this is so powerful to show how, you know, the celebrities are so vulnerable in that way that that they are literally, if that's true, she is, I mean, people that she don't even really know have that enough power to either pull her up or pull her down.
Yeah. But I guess adding to that, right, I think that when you get on to certain levels, you have to use everything as a tool. Like you have to see everything as a tool, and it's all about like how you view it and what opportunity you see in it, right?
Right.
So when you have that influence of your fan base or just people that are gonna talk, because some people that talk ain't fans, obviously. Right. But you just see the people, right? Okay, well, in this case, if these people are able to pull her through, it's like, okay, well, then use it for that. You know what I'm saying? But then we got the people that are talking shit. Okay, cool.
Drown out that noise.
Don't let that. Exactly. Drown that noise out. Don't let that rain on your parade, because it will. You know what I'm saying? If you allow it. So just seeing it as, okay, I'm gonna do what I do, or I'm gonna use it how I choose to use it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Giving it power wherever I want to give it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know it was both feet at first.
Okay, she said there's no sound. Let me check this. Okay, there's no sound over there. Hold on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna pause Megan real fast because the sound isn't coming through. So let me share audio. All right, let me do an audio check and see if we got sound now. All right, we're having a little technical difficulties here with getting the audio for Megan's response. So we're gonna try to do one more thing and see if that gets us. We're gonna see if that gets us what we need. It should. Stand by 1 second, guys. All right, so let's try it again.
Bitch, I can tell you all. Hello. I'm good. I really just wanted to get on here and show my face and show that I'm happy and I'm smiling, even though a lot of things have been, you know, things that have been making me not smile, but I'm back.
I'm back.
So I see a lot of people painting fake ass narratives and making up stories and all this other whack ass shit. But I also see a lot of people that have been like being very supportive and sending prayers, and I just really appreciate that. I saw the hotties doing a lot of things, like writing letters on Tumblr and DMing me all the time, and I just want to say thank y'all so much, because y'all really been the ones that been helping me get through this. I was shot in both of my feet.
So you said that you didn't know it was both feet, right?
Yeah, I didn't know she got shot in both feet.
Learning something new, y'all. Megan got shot in both of her feet.
Yeah, and like the comment said, like Miss J was saying, it really sounds like she's trying to hold together, because I was just about to tell you, pause, is like she's really trying to just get the message out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Breaking down. I'm surprised her voice ain't cracking. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was shot in both of my feet, and I had to get surgery to get the shit taken out, get the bullets taken out. And it was super scary. Oh Lord, I didn't think I was gonna cry. But yeah, I had to get surgery. It was super scary. It was like just the worst experience of my life. And it's not funny. There's nothing to joke about. It was nothing for y'all to start going and making up fake stories about. I didn't put my hands on nobody. I didn't deserve to get shot. I didn't do shit.
So let's talk about that. She said she put her hands on nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So, I wonder if we're gonna ever get like the fullness of this story.
Yeah.
Do you think we're ever gonna get the fullness of this story?
I think once Tory Lanez opens up about something, and maybe even whichever Kylie, whoever,
Right, Kylie Jenner.
like everybody should say something, you know what I
Right,
mean?
because it's
Say
just
we
not
can
making
figure-
sense.
Yeah,
It's just not making sense. Even though she just said it ain't none of our fucking business.
yeah. At the same time, it's like, hey, it's out there now. You know what I mean?
Right. I
Like-
just want to know why you got shot in both of your feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And all
somebody
right,
got to be accountable for that.
I'm gonna say this, and hopefully I don't get chewed out for it. But there was one thing I did laugh at when she said this, right? Because I think in the next couple seconds she's gonna say how it didn't hit any bones or teeth or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Megan's got some big ass feet to get shot in the feet, in her feet, and it's
Right.
like, and then miss all of that. I'm like, that's a lot of foot meat.
Well,
right there,
know,
what I mean?
she's
and the
a
bullets
bit-
were in there. Like, yeah, it wasn't like she got grazed. Like the bullets were in there.
Right. Right.
But
let's
the internet but the internet has no remorse, bro. The internet
no,
does
it
not have
doesn't. It's
sympathy. The
straight.
internet-
It's as her song say, savage, right?
Yeah, the internet is the internet is more savage than any of us could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
because it's like it's a conglomerate of the most savage and trollish people that you can, you know what I'm saying.
And people do not care about
don't.
what they put on the internet.
Yeah.
Period. All social media, blogs, comment. They don't care, man. It's So let's keep going.
And thank God that the bullets didn't touch bones. They didn't break tendons. Like I know my mama, my daddy, my granny had to be looking out for me with that one, because where the bullets hit at, it missed everything. But the motherfuckers was in there. And it's not that I was protecting anybody. I just wasn't ready to speak. That's not no shit you just immediately get on the internet and start talking about. And that's a lot of y'all motherfucking problem. Y'all take y'all whole life to Instagram and Twitter and make it a fucking diary. And that's not me.
So I know when we spoke about it last time, I mentioned how Meg Thee Stallion she's young, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she still has a lot of growing to do and realization to do to go through herself. And I think that this is actually a very mature moment where she realized, like, I don't have to just rush out and say something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, look, let me just kind of go through this shit.
Right.
And then when I'm ready,
Right.
But I don't owe y'all nothing to just say that I gotta say something about this now. But that's something I want to just throw out,
Yeah,
out to
yeah,
her.
yeah. That we are seeing that, But the thing about Megan Thee Stallion to me is like I don't know. Maybe I'm just not a fan like how some people are.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't think she was a very public person just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was semi-private. But hey, I could be wrong with that. So. Okay. Where's the sound?
Hit the 3 dots and see if it's something on there.
On a positive note, the bullets.
Hold on, did I go
And
back
it's not
all
that
the way?
I was protecting anybody.
good.
I just
We good.
wasn't ready to speak. That's not no shit you just immediately get on the internet and start talking about. And that's a lot of y'all motherfucking problem. Y'all take y'all whole life to Instagram and Twitter and make it a fucking diary, and that's not me.
So she's definitely not a public person.
So fuck y'all and them fake ass blogs and y'all fake ass sources and my fake ass friends. But
I think I know what she's
on
talking
a
about.
positive note,
Say you know what she's talking about?
I think I know who she's talking about. Okay, so
She had like a best friend that came out and talked, right? Didn't she?
well, okay, so the friend that was in the car, I don't think she put out anything, but or at least I don't. When I last knew about it, she didn't put out anything. But I don't know. I think her and this is one chick named Drea. She used to be on like Love and Hip Hop or Window Show. I think it was Love and Hip Hop.
Drea, yeah, like little short, light skinned chick.
Yeah,
I think she became a model or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and so like, cause she actually got fired from Savage Finney. For some of the comments she made. She, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like, it was some dumb shit. I'm like, bro, like, it's like that ain't even funny. It's like she said something along the lines of, "I wish I had a dude that cared that much about me or loved me that much to where he'll shoot me in the foot if it mean getting me to, you know what I'm saying, like do what he want me to do." It's like,
wow,
are you fucking stupid? Like what? I mean, and then whatever else she said, it's kind of very insensitive.
Yeah,
and it's like, bro, I mean, I get that we might, because like the whole Harlem Nights rundown that they had to me, like that stuff was funny.
Right.
And I'm like, I hope that's not where I got the whole, like, I think she had a blade or some shit like that. Because in the movie, you know what I'm saying, it was like, I'm going to cut you. And it's like,
right.
But so I'm like, I'm hoping I didn't mix those two up. But for somebody who's close to her to go out and say, or possibly close to her, go out and say some shit like that, it's like, bruh, all right. Like, and then she put out her apology. It was like,
so her and Drea are friends? Were friends?
Well, yeah. But I presume such because she did end up saying in the tweet that I saw, not that I had Twitter, but I saw, somebody else posting shit. But what she was saying, she hurt people like her, and she especially, was hurt a friend, Megan or whatever, and how she apologized for it. And it's like, well,
yeah, I mean, you can't be
now.
nobody's friend talking about how she done got shot in the damn toe. Like, that's not a joke.
People kept saying her best friend shot at her. Yeah, people kept saying her best friend shot at her first, so that's why people saying Tory did it. And like we need a full story.
That's what I'm saying. Like she got to come on out and tell the rest of the story. Let's finish up what she was saying here. Let's make sure I got it unmuted.
just taking some time to myself has definitely made me realize how to move forward. And how to protect my energy. I'm so nice. Imagine being 25 and you don't have both of your parents. My mama was my best friend. She, I'm still really not over that. So you kind of try to fill like your space with a bunch of people that you think is making you happy. Jesus. Hold on. I just feel like I was moving really fast. I was moving too fast. I wasn't taking enough time for myself. I thought I was ready to be around a bunch of motherfuckers. I thought I was ready to to be, I thought I was ready to give good energy to other people, and other people wasn't ready to give good energy to me. But I definitely had to sit my ass down and pray on it. And I do feel a lot better. And thank God for the people I have around me that are.
So, next thing with that, right? Something I noticed when she was talking about how, like, she's 25 and doesn't have both her parents, whatever. I think, okay, like, her relationship with Tory Lanez clearly was a secret to everybody. I think that she might still be going through a period of, like, just feeling that, trying to fill that void. You know what I'm saying? Right. And yeah. Because it's like, clearly, he meant a lot to her. You know what I'm saying? Whoever else was around meant a lot to her. And I think that it kind of helped to at least pacify her during that time. Right. It's like,
we're dealing with the grief.
Like right when she was at the cusp of like really taking off is when her mom passed, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't know anything about her dad, but I think that really, I think that you got a child out here that's still longing for somebody that can, you know what I'm saying, put the security blanket over him at night. And I think that she's dealing with that while also becoming this growing, super influential, like, top artist in the industry right now. Right. Like, there's no, like, okay, male or female. Like, no, she's just one of the top artists in the industry at this point. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's no separation of gender. Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, her mom died in 2019 March. So, I mean, you're talking about a little over a year.
Yeah, that was at the cusp of it. And, I mean, I haven't lost a parent. I mean, you can speak to that in ways that I can't. But, I can only imagine it. Like, I've wandered into that area before, but, when you got so much going on.
It's I can kind of understand just in a sense of grief, right? When you lose someone and you're trying to hold on to the things that are making you happy or you think that are making you happy, but they're just not good for you. Right. So I think that she got to that point to where, she's recognized that, man.
Yeah. She gave too much too soon and
right. Because life is the best teacher. Hands down.
Yeah.
Period. All right, let's jump back in it.
Are actually here for me and are actually my friends. Don't want shit from me. Would never turn on me for no amount of money, no amount of clout. That wouldn't make up stories about me to save face. That wouldn't go against the grain. Just thank God for them. And thank God for all the hotties and the supporters that I see have had my back through these times. And I ain't never seen so many grown-ass motherfucking men chime in on some shit that wasn't their motherfucking business in the first motherfucking place. Like, y'all niggas just wake up, get on the internet and be like, oh, I'm gonna say this today because this is gonna give me some, like, this is gonna be funny. Like,
now you know what she's talking about, right?
Every meme and every person. I think like a couple of celebrities, of course, like 50 Cent, Cameron.
50 Cent is, I think, I didn't know about Cameron, but I know for sure she got 50 to like pretty much apologize, and they say he don't never apologize
for nothing.
Right. So she tripped me out with that. I ain't never seen something. But she right though. I mean, because for people that are celebrities to comment on somebody else's stuff like that, if that's not your business, you know what I mean? Like I get bloggers and people like, podcasters, like what I'm doing, I get that aspect of it. But if you're a celebrity in your mansion in New York, why in the hell you commenting on me getting shot? What does it got to do with you?
Yeah, because
that ain't even your line of work.
Everybody got that influence. It's like, it's like, do you not have enough going on? Cause that's part of what we need entertainers for, right? It's because if we ain't got shit going on, they got shit going on, and we can be entertained by it.
Right. Absolutely.
People who stirring up shit, like, why are you like? Do you not have anything else going on right now? Like, do you not have like another season of Power or something?
Right.
Going on, like,
concentrate on something, my brother. Except her.
You're like, okay, let me post about this to get some laughs and likes. Like, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
What if your motherfucking sister got shot? Or what if your motherfucking girlfriend got shot? What if your motherfucking best friend got shot? Would you be cracking jokes then? Then you want the whole world to stop and feel sorry for you. I don't expect none of you motherfuckers to feel sorry for me, but it's just a respect thing. Like, shut the fuck up when shit don't have nothing to do with you. stop fucking talking when some shit don't need to be talked about. And you out of your mind ass bitches. Are y'all? Ugh. It's not even are y'all fucking dumb. It's yes, we know you're fucking dumb. It's just how many times are you gonna show me you fucking dumb? A lot of y'all silly motherfuckers just don't be having no morals or don't be having no code to stand on. But, you know, that's on y'all. And somebody gonna take care of your ass. Karma gonna take care of your ass. I ain't gotta do it. But anyway, I just want y'all to know a bitch is alive and well and strong as fuck. And, you know, I'm ready to get back to regular programming with my own hot girl shit. But I've definitely learned that I don't have to be so nice to every motherfucking body. This ain't gonna stop me from being nice, and this ain't gonna stop me from being Megan the motherfucking Stallion, driving the boat, doing what the fuck I wanna do, having this good ass energy. Ain't nobody gonna stop my energy from being good. But what I can't do is keep putting my energy in a bunch of you motherfuckers. So I love you hotties, and I love you to everybody who has been sending me messages and sending me flowers and gifts and all kind of shit, and just the texts in the morning, at night, throughout the day, checking on me. Just thank y'all, because I see all that shit. Like, just thank y'all.
There you go, Megan Thee Stallion. She put her comment out, so she has cleared the air. She has told people what she wanted them to know, which wasn't a lot, except I think the only new thing I found out is that she got shot in both of her feet.
Yeah, and I think that this leaves promise that we will see more twerking.
Right.
There will be more twerk videos.
Well, yeah, right.
Because
she said that they didn't hit anything major. So I guess once the tissue heals up,
go through
twerk
therapy.
There you go.
Twerk rehabilitation therapy.
She'll be good as new, man.
And
she'll
yeah,
be out there.
Yeah.
You know, and she's an entertainer, and she's well loved. You know,
Yeah.
And so we will definitely be seeing more of Megan Thee Stallion.
Well, let's hit that other video. Let's hit that other video that's pretty much gone viral at this point.
Right.
With the surprise paternity test.
Right. Let me go ahead and cue this up. But for all of you guys that are wondering, I'm sure you guys have seen the video. So
where we had the young lady who, and by the way, we did some research. I didn't find anything saying that this was fake or, staged or whatever. So we're under the presumption that this is a very real video. This is a real interaction.
Right. I'm queuing it up.
And we're gonna go through the same process with this, where it's just like a bunch of pausing and us giving our comments.
Right.
Feel free to share your own.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why that little bar is up there. I don't like that. However, let's get into it. All of the accolades and the praise.
Oh.
Amazing. Yeah. I think, real quick, just where we are, looking at this, obviously, if you guys have seen it, you know what? I'm not going to ruin it. Let's just go through it.
Let's do that. Oh, man. I missed that the first time I watched it. Okay.
Okay, we got another person. We got Miss J saying that there's no audio on this one either. Hold on, guys. Yep, there's no audio. What in the world is going on?
Can we be great?
Can we
Please,
be great tonight? Stand by, guys. Stand by. Oh boy!
And shout out to Miss J for being. We're gonna hire you as the production
Right.
person out here, man.
She gonna be the official
be the
producer.
intern, the unpaid intern of New Wave Real Talk.
Chrome tab.
Great dad.
Thank you.
Thank you. What are you doing?
I'm recording you.
I see that.
Miss J, let us know if our audio is good.
You did good. She had such a great birthday.
She did.
You're such a great dad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm not done passing out gifts either.
A gift for me? Vernon, you didn't have to do that. It's not my birthday.
Such a great mom.
Oh, thank you.
I
Oh,
had to.
it's heavy. Ooh, I'm excited.
So
Exciting.
What is it?
open it up.
Oh my God, you are such an amazing man, I tell you.
Open it up.
Is it Valentine's Day all over again? Oh my God. Ooh, it's that kind of night, ain't it? My favorite wine?
It goes with the gift.
It goes with the
okay,
gift.
Lamar.
Oh, you dirty dog.
Oh, here we go, here we go. I'm excited. It better be the necklace I wanted. You know I've been wanting that for a long time. Another bag. You're so tricky, I tell you. Babe, really? Another bag? I can't with you and your foolishness. Oh my God. You are one silly man, I tell you.
Open it up.
Oh my God, what is this? Oh man. Duct tape, really?
They ran out.
You're such an amazing
They
rapper.
ran out. I'm sorry.
An envelope? What could this be? What could this be? It's not shaking. It's not my necklace, I don't think. Let's open this out. Ooh, it feels kind of thick. Okay, hold on. It may be. Maybe. Paper. This better be a ticket to Dubai for 2 weeks straight, round trip.
2 weeks.
Because you know I've been wanting to go to Dubai.
For 2 weeks,
Open
though?
it up.
During Corona season, 2 weeks in that.
What is that?
What is this?
You know what it is? I just want you to know that I know. Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
Why did you do this tonight out of all nights? Why?
Because I wanted you to know that I know Nevaeh is not mine. I've had doubts.
What
So with that
doubts?
DNA test, Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
Ugh.
Why would you do this? She loves you though.
She
Why
loves
would
you,
you do
though.
this?
She's not my daughter. Why would you do this? Why would you cheat?
I didn't cheat.
Why would you cheat on me?
You have
a whole baby
That's proof right there. DNA test. Nevaeh is not my daughter.
But babe, really? Out of all days, you had 3 years to give this to me. Now you want to give this to me?
All
Oh, he knew for 3
listen.
years?
Me
He's
and
suspected
Nevaeh
for 3
got
years.
to
The
the
daughter's
end of the
3 years old
month
now.
to get out of my house.
Oh, he's suspected, but the daughter's
You're
3
kidding,
now.
right?
Right.
I'm not kidding.
But
You
that's your
and
daughter.
your daughter had to the end of the
You
month
and your
to
daughter.
get out of my house.
But that's
Kelly.
your daughter.
It's not my daughter, Kelly.
Yes, it is.
Paperwork says it's not my daughter.
Why would you do this?
I am not the father.
No. Stop it.
Savage.
So get the camera on my face.
I am not the father.
All right, let's go ahead and hop into this.
He did his own Maury, though. Did you hear that? Did you?
said,
I am not the father.
Hey, man,
All right, go ahead,
look. bro. First off, that build-up was
boy.
priceless. Like, I'm sorry, but she made that build-up way worse than it initially was. And then he ain't making no better. He's like, oh yeah, that wine is gonna be perfect for the gift.
Right,
It compliments
right.
the gift perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
because you
bruh,
need to get
okay.
messed. She gonna need to get messed up for sure.
All right, so let's get this part the way, because I mean I think we all know, okay, the daughter is definitely gonna be heartbroken, right? But let's
Right.
talk about what we see first, right?
Right.
What we saw first. So, one, how your ass gonna sit up here and try to say you didn't cheat that one time? Like, first off, if I didn't cheat, I'm not about to dismiss this shit after like just saying it one time. Like, I didn't cheat. Then because it was constantly like, why would you do this now? You know, this is, you know, but she loves you. Like, all these things, like she's trying to like hold him hostage, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And manipulate him or whatever. And I hate that.
Emotionally blackmailing him is what somebody said.
Emotional blackmail, emotional hostage. I like that.
Right.
So it's like, okay, let me just actually throw out this disclaimer.
Sure.
I do think that a person can cheat on their partner and still love that person. I don't think that she doesn't love that man. I think that she definitely loves him. She appreciates him for what he's done. You know what I'm saying? And what he does. Let me say that. At the same time, you can't tell nobody how to deal with they pain.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And what really got me was like in the comments that I saw when I initially watched the video. So like for what I saw in that chunk of it, you had a lot of people, women in particular, who were like siding with the girl on like, yeah, he should have waited till the day after the birthday or this and other. It's like, how are y'all trying to make this man somehow some kind of antagonist when he's the one who was a victim here? How are y'all about to sit here and make this woman the victim because he's saying y'all got till the end of the month to go?
Well, here's what I'll say about that. I don't think I disagree with them, and I agree with you. I think that she cannot be the victim.
Yeah.
Right. She was the antagonizer in the situation. She the one that stepped out 3 years or 3 years, 9 months ago and conceived the baby. Now, what we don't know by that video, obviously, they must have been in a relationship because he says that you cheated.
Right. There wasn't a break involved.
Right.
It wasn't that was during a time when
Right. And then she said, hold on, we gotta put this back up here. Let me find that.
Have a good B-day. That's it.
Right. Let me see here.
Can we just talk?
Get out of my house.
She loves you though.
I just want you to know that I know. Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
Why did you do this tonight out of all nights? Why?
Because I wanted you to know that I know. Nevaeh is not mine. I've had doubts.
What
so I
doubts?
that DNA test. Nevaeh is not mine. She's not my daughter.
But why does she look so puzzled? Like, why does she look so puzzled? Like she didn't know.
You know you fucked.
Right. Like she looked so puzzled.
Playing, man.
That is crazy to me how puzzled she looked, y'all. Like I'm
perplexed right now. Like, I think she in shock and all that is actually coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's like the door. Because you know how they say, at least you know in our community, how they say you look like who feeding you. And or I don't know, maybe I've heard.
Well, yeah, I've heard of that.
So maybe it's like, okay, they finding little random features like, oh, look, she got your nose,
right?
Trying to make them see something that ain't there. And that's just like,
she loves you though.
But you cheated.
She's not my daughter. Why would you do this? Why would you cheat?
Watch this.
I didn't cheat.
Why would you cheat on me?
I didn't.
That's proof right there.
But look at her
pie
face,
in your eye.
man.
And
Like,
she gonna look back at it like, no, it says something else. No, girl,
like,
it says what it says.
Exactly. Nevaeh is not my daughter.
And you know what? I actually had something similar that happened to me.
Father.
Where like when I was trying to leave a person who I was with, and they tried to use the kids as leverage to make me stay around. Like, but what about? It's like, bruh, like, not saying I don't give a fuck, but I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not happy with you, so it doesn't matter that these kids it's like, bruh, I wasn't the first one that they done met, and I ain't gonna be laughing that they met.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just what it is.
So
stick around for your children? No.
Right. Right. Tried to blackmail him basically into raising her daughter. And I say her daughter because right. Yeah, she was waiting for it. And you never know, because that could have been the situation. Like, say for instance, he was pranking her to see if you know what type of reaction she would get. So I guess maybe some part of her could have, you know, tried to play along with it.
Now, I get it, because people do that. It's like, let me not commit too much.
Right, because I don't want to blow my cover if you don't really know.
Exactly.
But that was a real DNA test. So let's talk about this. My comment, I guess my opinion from watching the 3-minute video is that my heart aches for the little 3-year-old girl who is now asleep, and she's going to wake up to a completely different
world,
reality.
Yeah.
You know?
And I agree with you 100%. Like, the only two victims in this are the guy and the little girl. That's it.
Right. And
That's
she and the woman who is wanting to go to Dubai and wanting the necklace, and she is literally breaking down her whole entire family,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But the truth will come to the light, you know, when you do things, they will come to the light. You just got to be ready to handle them. So the mother is flat out wrong.
Yeah.
Now, the man though, let me talk about the man.
Okay.
Because the man is just in a tough situation.
Yeah.
Because he's now under the pretense of that this is not my daughter. But here's where my mind goes. He's raised her for 3 years.
Right.
You can't just throw away 3 years of milestones and memories
Right.
and seeing this kid walk for the first time, the first tooth, the first baby food, the first time using a potty. Like, how do you go from all of those memories and those milestones to say you got 30 days to get out of my house?
Yeah.
Not you.
But
Not you.
Y'all.
You
and
and
your daughter.
Nevaeh.
You and your daughter.
You and your daughter got to
Yeah,
get
when
out.
he said your daughter, I mean, I guess that was a detachment for him as well as a
An
reminder
attack
to
to her.
her.
Yeah.
Like, no, this isn't my daughter. This is your daughter.
Right.
And so, like, I guess that kind of goes into my question to you, which is, what do you think he owes the daughter?
I think that he owes the daughter a relationship in whatever way that can formulate, given the circumstances. And I think it's just a matter of, depending on what the mother will decide to do. But that little 3-year-old girl is only going to know him as her dad.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it's completely fair for her to wake up and not ever have that relationship again with him if she wants it.
Okay.
I think that he has to be the adult and say that this kid is innocent. If her mother wants me to play a part in the kid's life, I think that if it was me, if that happened to me, I would be open to being there for Nevaeh.
Okay.
In whatever way I can until your mama finds somebody else.
Yeah.
But I don't think I could just say in 30 days,
get your
ass out
out
my house and don't ever come back. I can't. How do you
don't get that
check out
heartless.
to that point?
Yeah.
I understand anger and being mad, but then again, that's me saying that and not being in his shoes.
Right.
So I have to say that.
Yeah. And that's a very fair point to make.
Right.
But
I'm just saying that I think that he owes it to the little girl to at least do everything that he can to try, I guess, to make it an easy and smooth transition. But I don't think in 30 days, but I don't know. Maybe we'll have to figure out what happened after that.
So I'm gonna tell you, I mostly disagree.
Okay.
Mostly disagree.
Okay.
We do share the same sentiment where it's like, okay, yeah, that little girl, completely innocent. She's gonna wake up to a different reality. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, looking at, actually before I say at the same time, going back to that part, right? And I look at just like my kids, or I look at who I might have dealt with in the past that might have had kids and building those relationships with them. It's like, I would be heartbroken if I found out that my son or daughter weren't mine. Because it's like, when I had my child, I fell in love with the child and the person even more because of what we share together at this point, right? And so it's like, I think that really he isn't responsible for cleaning up the mother's mistake. However, I think that it would be a good gesture for him to at least still maintain or be open to a relationship with the daughter, but not have an obligation to the daughter.
Okay.
So I think that he, like, any obligation is out of the window to me. Like, saying, okay, yeah, I'll still, I might buy her a gift for Christmas. I might get her every now and then if I want to. I might take, what I'm saying, or just do little things for her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that it's like, okay, I think that it's a good gesture, and I'm open to the notion of him just being a good role model for her, being a good male figure in her life. However, he is by no means obligated to any of that shit. And it's the mom's responsibility to reopen that relationship with her actual father. You know what I'm saying? And then build from there. Because at the end of the day, it's like she has a biological dad out here who needs to know that that's his daughter. You know what I'm saying? And not put all that weight on him. And I think that we have to just be okay with this man's hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that man is hurting right now because for however long he's been suspecting, then he got that confirmation that it's not his.
Right.
Like, bro, like I swear, like, and with my son and my daughter, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can point out different things with both of my kids. 'Cause I never had to fight for a child the way I did with my son, and I missed certain things that I got that with my son that I actually did get to see with my daughter. And you know, I have a very unique relationship with both of them, and I'm sure you know, same with you,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like for me to just find out that it's like I couldn't turn it off. Like I would be so heartbroken to know that like all this stuff that I invested in this child, I would never stop loving them.
Right.
But like this is a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a lie. And so it's like, look, I mean, yeah, the 30 days is a lot. You know what I mean? I probably would have had to give a motherfucker a severance package. Like, look, here, you know what I'm saying? Here's a little something to keep, you know, get you on your feet. I mean, because who's to say that she's, you know what I'm saying? I think when we say that, you know, he was wrong for it, it's like, I think we're also kind of unbeknowingly, if that's even a word, unbeknownst, like,
unbeknownst.
I mean, unbeknownst, but I think unbeknowingly is like my own little word, whatever. Either way, I think we're assuming that she needs him financially.
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's
so it's
for me. It's not my comment about the 30 days is not necessarily out of financial stability from her, but I'm thinking about the transition between the whole situation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is not like you're evicting somebody. I mean, he's doing like you just evicted you know,
pretty much.
It's like you're evicted.
Yeah.
But this is more than an eviction. This is a family that's being dismantled.
Exactly. Yeah. And so,
you know.
So one other point with that is I think with her being 3, she has way more years in front of her than she does behind her.
That's true.
So it's like, you know, this can be rectified. Yeah, the end of the month could be next week. Hopefully she, like I said, give her a severance package so she can get her a little apartment or something. But I do think that they both owe that little girl, like, you know, a real explanation and just a smooth transaction, you know, a smooth transition. I'm sorry, not transaction, transition. And they have to open that relationship up with the biological father or who she at least thinks is about. They need to figure out who that daddy is.
Yeah, but I just
it's like, you know, at the end of the day, like those wounds will heal, they will scab, and the scabs will peel off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
And because when that girl is 15 years old, it's like, you know, it happened, but now she has a relationship with her real father. Ideally, her real father, but you know, there's gonna be another guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I think the most that guy owes them is like, okay, yeah, for the time being, I will or I can. I can and I will when I feel like it. Give her that relationship outside of y'all being, you know, with y'all being outside my house. I'm not obligated to this shit.
Right.
But I'm gonna make it easy for y'all to get out. You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, it's nah.
I guess I'm more of a lover in that way. I just don't. I just think it's, you know. So let me ask you a question. Do you think the way he did that was appropriate? What do you think it was appropriate?
So
with the way he did it, with the whole scavenger hunt, and then with the straight up bluntness at the end, would you have done it that way?
So I don't know how I would have done it. At the same time, him doing it that way, I could see it being done that way if it were me, or maybe with my own little twist on it. One thing about me though is I have a very broad spectrum, and I don't really see things as like I don't really have the same like right or wrong type of compass that most people do. I see more of like the way than I do like right or wrong way. So and then it's like I do have certain morals that like kind of you know confine that a little bit. Where it's like, okay, well, I wouldn't have just thought I'd been like cold, hella cold. So I don't think that he was. If I had to just forcefully say right or wrong, I don't think that he was wrong in his response. I think the way he did it, like, had you removed a child, or had we removed the whole like you got to the end of the month, and we don't know how long that end of the month, like it could have been 3 days from now, or whatever. Right. We don't. It could have been the full 30 days. We don't know how long that time is. I feel like if you remove that part, like, could people still say that he was wrong? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For saying y'all got to go.
You know, I think for me, me answering that question, I think that I would have done it differently. That's just my point. I think that he at least had enough respect for the little 3-year-old girl and not involve her. So I was happy to see that he put her to sleep and that he, you know, my whole thing is, how do you, I don't even think I would have had the patience to hold on to that.
Yeah.
To do the dramatics of it. I guess, you know, my mind goes to, obviously he's just checked out.
Yeah.
He must have had been checked out as soon as he saw the results. And so that's how he came across as so heartless and so just cold. Because how do you... there's no way in hell I could have went through all of that. I could have went through putting all this shit in bags and stuff. Like, I would have had to straight up, as soon as I got the piece of paper, we having a conversation.
Yeah.
Ain't going to be no packing it in the duct tape and the wine. Ain't nobody got time for that. You got to answer why the hell you cheated and why this child is not mine.
Yeah.
And I think that the importance of it.
You were all dicking 2 people at one time.
Right. I mean, because to me, the importance of it was diminished the way he presented it.
Okay.
But then again, he may just be that type of a guy. Maybe he's a comedian. Maybe he's comical. Maybe he deals with his pain that way. I just know me. I wouldn't have been able to go through that.
And I think that this is actually a good segue for a topic that we can do in another episode. Just speaking on like the emotional black man or the emotions of the black man. You know what I mean? And that particular process and journey for all of us. And going back to like what you were saying, I think that him going through those theatrics. One of the comments here is saying that he wanted her to feel as embarrassed as he felt. And I think a lot of times we do want to hurt those that hurt us, you know what I'm saying? At least when it comes to the relationships, right? Like sometimes we want them to just feel that pain, right? And I think that with him, you know, I have a lot of respect for how he handled the daughter too, because it's like they still had the whole birthday party. Right. You know what I'm saying? They had everything was good.
Which that wouldn't
exactly. And it's like some people would not have gone through that, but it's like, okay, I think
that ain't my daughter.
Like we don't know when he got those results, right? We don't know when he got those results, but it's like he knew that okay, her moment meant more than my moment.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In this space, so it's like okay, well, let me at least put her moment first. Boom. Now she get to go to sleep peacefully or whatever.
Right, and had her day.
You know what I'm saying? I think that they do owe her that transition. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the way he did it, it was like one of those. It's almost like if I had to compare the pain, right? If I wanted to compare that embarrassment that he felt, right, from the comment, it's like imagine, okay, you with this woman, y'all been together for however long, we don't know, but you go through these 9 months with this woman because, like, let's be real, it's we're pregnant. When a woman's pregnant, we are pregnant because we go through, you know, we might put on pregnancy with them, but it's like everything they feeling, every move swinging they're having, the up and down they're having, we going through that shit with them because we have to deal with that person. We have to try to make things as good for that person as possible. Right. So he go through 9 months thinking that we have a child. You know, this is ours. So that build up and anticipation of something like, because that's what a lot of women want to gift their spouse is a child. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to give them that legacy. And so it's like he's seeing it as like, you know, at least I'm assuming, or at least we can just say in this bizarre world that, you know, he was feeling like, okay, this is the greatest gift this woman can give me as a child, right? And here comes this child. I have my doubts, and I find out that this gift that I've been anticipating on unwrapping for all this time actually wasn't what I thought it was. You know what I'm saying? And so now she got what she thinking that it's something, and she got this build up. She talking about it. She, you know what I'm saying, ready to tell somebody, yeah, he got me this necklace or this whatever. Just like how he probably taking pictures with the little girl, proud, doing whatever little stuff. Right. And now you got where it's like, boom, it ain't what you thought it was. So I think that symbolically is a reflection of that pain he suffered, because you're talking about a 9-month build up plus 3 years of just suspicion. Right. And then it's like when he got them papers, we don't know. Right. You know what I'm saying? But now,
no, I think that made a lot of sense to me. It's a tough story all the way around, man.
I man, that little girl, but she will get past it. Like, because one thing, kids are very forgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you can literally spank your child today and an hour later they like all in your face trying to be your best friend. My kids hate when I'm mad at them. You know what I'm saying? They peace offers and everything. But, you know, hopefully that girl will grow up
and have
a relationship with
you know, and another thing I want to say is, you know, to me, it's important that we build up the black family. Yeah. And that we, you know, I mean, y'all women, y'all got to stop cheating and having these babies.
Stop cheating on us. Because black men don't cheat. So you better cut that shit out. All right? Because we don't take cheating babies.
Oh, my God.
Y'all want to take babies that we bring in from cheating? When we don't, but hypothetically, because we don't be cheating.
Well,
that's y'all choice.
Well, Viola Davis did it in Fences. So if she can do it in Fences, that man can be that baby's daddy.
Hell no. Well, he could. He could. It's a matter of, I think at that point, it's a matter of like, how much does he love that woman too, and how much he can get past that? Because every time you see that little girl, it's going to be a reflection of what happened.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to the New Wave Real Talk podcast. I'm your host, Raymond, and my co-host,
Eric.
Thank y'all for listening to us and enjoying the night with us. We hope to see you next week, and same time, same place. Also, if you're watching on Facebook for the very first time, know that you can listen to other episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you can get podcasts. Search for New Wave Real Talk. We'll see y'all next week. Y'all take care.